Okay, hello everybody. Good afternoon, all of you. We'll start with the quote, a small quote, but good quote. Forget the mistake, remember the lesson. Because it's natural to do mistakes. But when you have done a mistake, there is no point in regretting about the mistake. Okay, I would not have done this, I would not have taken this decision, I would not have done that. So there's no point in thinking about that. It's past, it's gone. But we should remember the lesson. That is, we should not repeat the mistakes. So that is more important. And today is the birthday of John Glover. He developed the Glover Tower in 1859 to reclaim useful chemicals during the manufacture of sulfuric acid, the most important industrial chemical. The previous lead chamber method used sulfur dioxide and nitrate, air, and water, but lost the nitrate in the form of nitric oxide to the atmosphere. This was expensive since the replacement of nitrate had to be imported from China. And Glover introduced a mass transfer tower to recover some of the lost nitrate. In each tower, sulfuric acid, still containing nitrates, was trickled downward against upward flowing burning gases. The flowing gas absorbed some of the previously lost nitric acid. By recycling these gases into the lead chamber, the nitric oxide was reused. He did not patent the process. This is very important because many people, they try to cash everything, whatever they found. But he did not patent the process and gave it freely to benefit the industry. But there are few people who give everything, whatever they found, for the benefit of society or the industry. So that is the greatness of John Glover. Okay, so today we will have this class. And last class, we are discussing about the different thrust, the expressions for thrust. Thrust, we have seen that there is momentum thrust and pressure thrust. Okay, and if the expansion is complete, pressure thrust is 0. If the pressure expansion is not complete, incomplete expansion, if there is choking, then the jet pressure will be more than the atmospheric pressure, which is critical pressure. So then there will be additional expansion outside the aircraft due to which it gets thrust. So that is called as pressure thrust. So that is Aj into Pj minus Pa. It is due to the pressure difference. And there is some kinetic energy loss, which is Cj minus Ca whole square by 2. And adding thrust power and kinetic energy loss, we get propulsive power. And thrust power to propulsive power is called the propulsive efficiency. And we have seen that if you compare F and propulsive efficiency, if one increases, the other decreases. Right? If Ca equal to 0, I get the maximum thrust. But if at that point, we will get here this propulsive efficiency will become 0. And if propulsive efficiency want to be maximum, Cj should be equal to Ca, that is static conditions, then this will be 0, thrust will be 0. Okay, so that's what we have discussed in the last class. And so if you take a simple turbojet cycle, so A is the intake, A to 1 is the intake, 1 to 2 is the compressor, 2 to 3 combustion chamber, 3 to 4 turbine, and 4 to 5 nozzle. So then the ideal cycle will be like this. Okay, real cycle, you have losses everywhere you have to show. And if you consider only the intake diffuser, it will be like this. So A is the inlet condition, static condition. If you add the kinetic energy due to its forward velocity, Ca square by 2 Cp, you will get T0 here. And in the intake diffuser, because there is no heat transfer, there is no work transfer, the stagnation temperature remains constant. So T0A will be equal to T01. But the total pressure is this A1 because of the losses. And here, if you add C1 square by 2 Cp, then you will get T01. So this T01 equal to T0. And but P01 is less than P0A because of the increase in the entropy. There will be total pressure loss will be there. So P01 will be less than P0. So this is this. And so the efficiency of the intake will be given in two ways, either intake efficiency or there is RAM efficiency. So if it is intake efficiency, it will be like T0 dash minus TA by T0A minus TA. Okay, so T0A minus TA is nothing but T01 minus TA. This is this T01 minus TA or T0A minus TA is CA square by 2C. So T01 dash, what we are interested in is I have to find out T01 and T01 because they are the intake conditions for the compressor. I have to get P01, T01. Okay, so T01 is already obtained here, this equation, and P01 is to be obtained. To get P01, I have to know the temperature here because isentropic line. If I know the temperature here, the temperature ratio gives me pressure ratio. So I have to get T01 dash. So T01 dash will be obtained from the intake efficiency. So eta I is equal to this. So T01 dash can be obtained. So once I get T01 dash, P01 dash by TA is equal to P01 by PA to the power of gamma minus 1 by gamma. So that is the way we get the equation. So you can use this equation, and equation, but you can separately find out also. What I have to do, first get T0A, then get T01 dash, then get P01. So that is the way I have to do. And then coming to the nozzle. Okay, so nozzle, it will be like this. N04 is the exit condition from the turbine. So from here, it will be expanded to the atmospheric pressure. So N04 to 5 dash, if it is ideal. But because of the losses, it goes to 5. And to this, if I add C5 square by 2Cp, C5 is nothing but jet velocity. Then P05 will come. So P04, T04 equal to T05. Again, like intake diffuser, nozzle also, there will not be heat transfer, there is no work transfer. So T04 equal to T05. Okay, what I am interested in is I have to find out the jet velocity. To get jet velocity, I have to know T05 and T5. T05 is already known because T04 equal to T05. So I have to get T5. And how to get T5? So to get T5, I need T5 dash because this gives the nozzle efficiency. Nozzle efficiency is T04 minus T5 dash by, sorry, T04 minus T5 by T04 minus T5 dash. Okay. So I have to get T5 dash. How to get T5 dash? If I know the pressure ratio, I can get the temperature ratio to the power of gamma. So how to get the pressure ratio? This pressure is known. At the entry exit of the turbine, pressure is known. And this pressure, if it is complete expansion, it is PA only. PA is already known in the problem. So P04 by PA is known. Or P04 by T5 dash is known. From which I can get T04 by T5 dash or T5 dash. Once I know T5 dash, I use nozzle efficiency to get T5. So once I get T5, T05 minus T5 is Cj square by 2Cp. I get Cj. Any questions here? Okay, if it is not choked, if it is choked, how to get it? So if it is choked, so I will get like this. That is, it will not. Okay, so if it is choked, what happens is it will not expand up to A, but it will expand up to C, critical pressure. Okay, so what happens is This is T naught 4. This is 5 RU. So it expands only up to this. This is critical pressure. C dash and this. Okay, so here exit conditions will be critical conditions. So how to know whether it is expanded completely or not? So I have to check whether PC is greater than PA or PC is less than PA. I have to check it. If PC is greater than PA, then it is not incomplete expansion and it is choked. If PC is less than PA or PC equal to PA, then there is complete expansion and it is not choked. Okay, so here so this is the way. And so if it is going up to here only, so TC dash minus, again, jet efficiency will be T04 minus TC by TC dash, T04 minus TC dash. So I can get TC dash, like T5 dash I got in the previous slide. Yeah, like here. So I can get TC dash. And TC dash by T04, because it is like 2 by gamma plus 1. Right? So this will become 2 by gamma plus 1. I think better I do it. Okay, this is this. And from here, TC dash is equal to T04 minus so this is the way I get. And if I want to find out the critical pressure, because critical pressure, if I find out, then I can check with respect to this. So how to get the critical pressure? So P04 by PC or PC by P04 is equal to TC dash by T04 to the power of gamma by gamma, gamma G minus gamma G. So TC dash by T04 I have to know. So divide both sides by T0. So TC dash by T04 is equal to 1 minus. If I take T04 common out of this, 1 by eta Z into 1 minus C by. And okay, so this T04 by TC, because T04 is equal to T0C. Okay, so T0C by TC. Can you do you know what is this? It is like 1 plus gamma minus 1 by 2 MC square, and critical Mach number is 1. So 1 plus gamma minus 1 by 2 or gamma plus 1 by 2. So T0C is equal to T04. So T04 by TC is gamma plus 1 by 2. So TC by T04 is 1 minus 2 by gamma plus 1. So if I take LCM, 1 minus 1 by eta Z into what will happen here? Gamma plus 1 minus gamma minus 1 by this is this. So this to the power of gamma G by gamma minus 1, I will get TC by P0. So TC by P04 is equal to TC dash by P04 to the power of. Okay, this is the formula. So from this, I can get what is PC. Because P04 and T04 are already known, so I can get PC. Now you check whether PC is greater than PA or less than PA. If PC is greater than PA, it is choking, incomplete expansion. And the exit conditions are critical conditions. If PC is less than PA, then complete expansion. And P5 is equal to, here P5 is equal to C. That is this. So in that way, I have to see which conditions are to be. And if this is the choking, then there will be pressure thrust. Because both are different. If PC is less than PA, because P5 equal to PA, no pressure thrust. Okay, this I have to check. We will see problem then. Till now, is it okay? Once I know the turbine exit conditions,
Critical pressure is corresponding to net number 1.
I could not listen. See, the voice is very.
So critical pressure will be corresponding to net number 1.
Just 1 minute, I will reduce this. Let me see you people. Arvind is speaking. Okay, I could not listen to you.
Critical pressure will be corresponding to net number 1.
I will see the chart box.
The critical pressure will be equal to corresponding to net number 1.
No, actually, voice is not audible. If I at least if I can see the chart box, if you can type.
You can write in chat box.
Yeah, chart box. How can I see actually that this is not becoming a big one?
If you can download the software, it is much better, sir. Web
Yeah.
software.
If there in the top, it will be there.
So just go for a drop down in layout section. Just expand to show video. The arrow key. Just press on the arrow key, sir. The expand to show video.
Share. The share is there.
No, sir. Like where it's written na speaking. Then near to that there is a arrow key, na? Greater than sign. And that
Share,
small
all share, assign, mute, stop video, recorder, participants.
Okay, so you have a different window in front of us, and we are seeing just a Google Chrome. Click on the layout, sir.
I don't know where that.
Sir, actually, right now we are just seeing the okay home. Okay, now. So can you just minimize this Google Chrome?
Yeah.
There is some. Okay, so yes, now you can wait a minute, wait that. I think it was supposed to
Actually, sir is hiding the upper portion of the status bar. All the option is there that you cannot see. That is hide.
I don't know how to get the screen up. Okay, anyhow, when you see the problem, I think you can understand how to do it.
Sir, his question is critical pressure corresponds to Mach number 1.
Yeah. Critical pressure means Mach number 1. So if it is incomplete expansion, it expands up to critical pressure, means it comes to Mach number 1. It cannot be more than that, right? So further expansion takes place outside the nozzle. So there will be pressure thrust. Am I clear? Okay, we will see this problem, turbojet problem. We have compressor pressure ratio. So here, determine the specific thrust and specific fuel consumption of a simple turbojet engine, having the following component performance at the design point at which the critical speed and cruising speed and altitude. I told you at the beginning, you will be given the ambient conditions or altitude at which it is flying. If you know the altitude, I have to take from the atmospheric tables what are the pressure and temperature at that altitude. And then you will be given the speed, either Mach number will be given to you or CA will be given to you. Okay, so it is a Mach number 0.8. So Mach number is given to be 0.8 and altitude at which it is flying is 10 kilometers. So these two are given. The other things will be, you will be given R, you will be given T03, and you will be given the compressor efficiency, turbine efficiency, mechanical efficiency, combustion efficiency, and combustion chamber pressure loss. And in addition to that, you will have now intake efficiency and nozzle efficiency. These are the things will be given to you. Okay, so we will see those data. So you have Mach number 0.8, altitude 10 kilometers, and compressor pressure ratio 8, T03 1200 Kelvin, and efficiency of compressor, efficiency of turbine, efficiency intake and propelling nozzle, and mechanical efficiency, combustion efficiency, delta PV. These data will be given to you. And I have to get the specific thrust and specific fuel consumption. So I will tell you stepwise how to go about it. Okay, the first, this would be like this. This is A, this is not A, this is not 1, this is not 1. This is for diffuser. And the not 1, it enters compressor. So this will be not 2 dash, this is not. And there is some pressure loss, I will get not 3. Okay, then turbine up to 4. This is not 4 dash, this is not. And from here 5. 5 dash 5. If there is complete expansion, then this and this will be same, but I don't know whether this and this coincide or not. Okay, it depends on whether it is complete expansion or incomplete expansion. If these two coincide, P5 equal to PA, then it is complete expansion. If I have convergent divergent nozzle, then there will be complete expansion and P5 will be equal to PA. Am I clear about this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, once you understand it, we start calculation. And at 10 kilometers, get PA, comma, TE. These two data from atmospheric tables. Okay, so Mach number is given if you want CA. So Mach number is equal to CA by root gamma R. Right, so this gives you C. If you want, because later to calculate thrust, I need CA. Any step, if you don't understand, you ask me, right? So I get C. Then first thing is I have to get P01 and T01. Okay, so to get P01, T01, first T01 equal to TA, T0A. So T01 is equal to T0A is equal to TA into 1 plus gamma minus 1 by 2 m. This is standard formula. T0A by TA is 1 plus gamma minus 1 by 2 m. This gives you T01. Okay, so then get T01 dash. For that intake efficiency I use is equal to T01 dash minus TA by T01 minus T. Okay, so T01 is nothing but TA, anything is. So this gives me T01 dash. Once I get T01 dash, the temperature ratio gives me pressure ratio. So P01 by TA is equal to T01 dash by TA to the power of gamma A by gamma A. So this gives me T01. This completes the diffuser calculation. Is this okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So once I get P01, T01, next it will be like turbo, the gas turbine calculations only. Okay. So we will see step by step. So I do. So P01 and T01 are known. Then P02 is equal to RP01. Because pressure ratio is given, I can get that. Okay. So then I have to get, because T02 is important, for the T02 dash I find out from the isentropic line. So T02 dash by T01 is equal to T02 by T01 to the power of gamma A minus 1, gamma A to gamma A minus 1. This gives me T02 dash. And how to get T02? Compressor efficiency. Compressor efficiency is T02 dash minus T01 by T02 minus T. This gives me T. Is this okay?
Yes, sir.
Right. So as I told, it is like turbine calculation only. So 3 also. So P03 is equal to P02 minus delta PV. So it may be 2% of P02 or 0.03 bar, like that it will be given, that we have to subtract. So P03 is known and T03 given. Okay, no problem up to this. Then I have to get the turbine. Okay, so what is that I have to get? I have to get T04 and P04. How to get that? Anybody can suggest me? Here, how much it has to produce? How much work it has to produce?
Sir, compensate the compressor work.
Yeah, because it runs compressor only that much. Okay, so turbine work I will get from the compressor work. So W turbine is equal to W compressor by mechanical efficiency. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
So see, W2 is CPG into T03 minus T04 is equal to CPA into T02 minus T01 by mechanical efficiency, out of which the unknown is only T04. I will get T04. And once I get T04, I have to get P04. How to get P04? I have to get this pressure. This pressure is to be obtained from this temperature ratio.
Isentropic
So
efficiency.
T04 dash to get turbine efficiency. Turbine efficiency is T03 minus T04 by T03 minus T04 dash. So this gives me T04 dash. Then P04 by P03 is equal to T04 dash by T03 to the power of gamma g by gamma g minus 1. This gives me T04. Okay, so turbine exit also it is over. Is it okay till now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then I have to come to the nozzle. So first what I have to do is I have to calculate that PC. So we got P04 by PC is equal to 1 minus 1 by eta j into gamma minus 1 by gamma plus 1 to the power of gamma g by gamma g. Okay, so this, because P04 is already known, you can get PC from here. Okay, so now you check PC and PA. And in this problem, actually, you will get PC greater than PA. So now it is choked because it cannot expand up to here. It can expand only up to here. By that time, the Mach number is 1. Is it clear? So this is the exit. This I will take it as 5 or 5 dash and 5. So this is atmospheric pressure. Okay. So once I know this, then I have to get the critical conditions. Exit conditions are critical conditions. And now TC. Okay, so T04 by, because T04 is T05. Okay, so T05 by T05, T5. So this is gamma plus 1 by 2. T05 by T5 is gamma plus 1 by 2 because 1 plus gamma minus 1 by 2 MA square. M5 is 1, so gamma plus 1 by 2. So T05 is already known, which is equal to T04. So this will give me T5. Okay, so once I know that, anyhow, I can get critical pressure. Critical pressure formula also will be there. And P5 is equal to gamma plus 1 P5 by P05 is 2 by gamma plus 1 to the power of gamma G. Gamma G by gamma G. So this is the critical pressure. Critical pressure formula is this, because P5 by P05 is T5 by T05 to the power of gamma by gamma minus 1. This will give you P5. And rho 5 is equal to P5 by T5. Okay, so these are the things. And the C5, that is Cz, is equal to root gamma R P5. Are these formulae clear? Because it is sonic velocity. Jet velocity is sonic velocity. If I know the temperature, root gamma RT will give me the sonic velocity.
Sir,
Yes?
so PC we have PC we have determined already. So PC is equal to T5. So here the formula is also given. So which will be used?
Somehow your voice is not audible. I could not see the chat box. That's the main problem. Okay, maybe after the class we will discuss.
Sir,
Okay.
can you repeat after T naught, sir? Can you repeat after T naught, sir?
Sir, he's saying, can you repeat after T04?
Okay. So T04 equal to T05, right? This is okay. In nozzle, there is no work transfer, there is no heat transfer. So in the nozzle, exit stagnation temperature is equal to inlet stagnation temperature. T04 equal to T05. Is this clear? Delta Q is equal to dH naught plus delta W. This is 0, this is 0. dH naught is 0, right? So H naught is equal to constant, or T naught equal to constant. So T04 equal to T05 in the nozzle. And if there is choking, so T05 by T5 is equal to 1 plus gamma minus 1 by 2 M5 square. And this is 1. So 1 plus gamma minus 1 by 2 is gamma plus 1 by 2. Critical temperature ratio, you must be knowing about this. So that's why I can get T5. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Then P05 by P5 is equal to T05 by T5 to the power of gamma G by gamma G minus 1. So this will give me P5. Or actually this PC itself, I need not calculate P5, okay? This is not necessary. Already PC is calculated. Okay, so PC is there, TC is there, and rho C is PC by RTC, and jet velocity is equal to root gamma RTC. So after this, you can do it. And once I do that, I got jet velocity, right? Jet velocity is the one which I am interested in. And jet pressure also is needed, because now the thrust is equal to F momentum thrust plus F pressure thrust. And momentum thrust is, and I will take specific thrust, okay, per unit mass flow, Cj minus Ca plus Aj by m dot into P. So this is the critical pressure, and this is ambient pressure, I know, and Aj by m dot, and how to get it? M dot is equal to rho 5, A5, C5. C5 is jet velocity, A5 is nozzle area. So m dot 5 or A5 by or Aj by m dot is equal to 1 by rho 5 C5. So rho 5 is known, C5 is known. I substitute here. So Cj minus Ca plus 1 by rho 5 C5 into P5 minus P. So this is the way I get the specific thrust. Is that okay? Okay, the problem is done. Okay, it is. I will show you the values and all. I wanted to know the procedure. And then SFC is to be found out. Okay, for this again, I have to use the graph. Okay, for the graph, what I have to know is the inlet temperature to the combustion chamber. So, combustion chamber inlet temperature, that is T02. Okay, and combustion chamber temperature rise, that is T03 minus T0. So this gives me fuel air ratio theoretical. Okay, so then fuel air ratio actual is theoretical fuel air ratio by combustion efficiency. This is given to you. So fuel air ratio I can find out. So once F is known, so the SFC is m dot F by, here one thing, for gas turbines, industrial gas turbines, SFC is m dot F by power for industrial gas turbines. But this is m dot F by thrust for air turbines. Okay, so this you have to know. So this is nothing but m dot F by m dot A specific thrust. That is F by Fs. Okay, so F is known here. Fs is already calculated. So I can get SFC. This is kgs per Newton seconds. Because m dot F is, this is kgs per second, and this is Newtons, Newton per kg. Then it will be like kg. Okay, this is no, there are no units for this. Okay, here this is kgs per. Okay, it is 1 by Fs. Units will be 1 by Fs. Okay, this is not having any units. 1 by Fs means kgs per Fs. Okay, Fs is F by m dot. That is Newton second per kg. Okay, Newton second per kg Fs is. And so this is kgs per Newton seconds. And if you actually multiply by 3600, I will get the kgs per Newton hour. Just I will check it. I think this is the one. This is the way I have to go about. Okay, now you can see the stepwise procedure for budget problem. Okay, so from ISA table, that is Indian Standard Atmospheric Tables, International Standard Atmospheric Tables, at 10,000 kilometers, PA is this, TA is this, and at their sonic velocity is this. Sonic velocity is nothing but root gamma RT. Okay, so these three will be available at different altitudes. Now, the T01 is equal to TA plus CA square by 2CP, because CA is known. CA square by 2CP I can calculate here. And so here T01 is obtained. So P01 I can get from here. So T01 and P01 using this here direct formula he has found out. T01 dash he didn't find. So you can do that way. That will be easier instead of remembering this formula. Okay, so get P01 and T01. Then P02 is equal to RP01. So 8 into this. And T02 minus T01 is this. So again, he has found out direct formula. But we are doing T02 dash first you find out, and then T02 you find out. Okay, T02. So now this is the formula. W turbine is equal to WC by mechanical efficiency. So from this I get P04. And the P03 is equal to P02 minus the combustion pressure losses. So this gives me P03. And here T04 dash, again using the turbine efficiency, I get like this, and P04 is obtained. So once you get P04 and T04, then you get the critical pressure. P04 by PC is this formula is there. Okay, so from this formula you can find out this. Then you check. Okay, here you found out P04 by PA is greater than P04 by PC. Or if you reverse it, PA will be less than PC. So if PA is less than PC, that is PC is more, so it will be choking. And so the critical temperature is 2 by gamma plus 1 T04. And the critical pressure is this. And rho 5 is PC by RTC. And C5 is root gamma RTC. And A5 by M is equal to 1 by rho 5 C5, right? And then the thrust, C5 minus CA plus A5 by M into PC minus PA. A5 by M is 1 by rho 5 C5, I told you. So this is the way I get the momentum thrust and pressure thrust. So you can see that pressure thrust also is quite a good amount. Okay, this is the total. And now coming to the fuel air ratio, T02 is this, T03 minus T02 is this. From these two, the theoretical fuel air ratio from the graph is 0.0194. By combustion efficiency, I get the fuel air ratio. And then SFC is F by Fs. So kg into 3600 kg per Newton hour. This is what I told you. Okay. So this is the way I can complete the problem. Is it clear? Okay, then we see turbojet performance, like gas turbine performance curves we got. In the same way, you got the turbojet performance. Here, instead of specific output, we get specific thrust. And here, SFC. Okay, so you can see the graphs. As turbine inlet temperature T03 increase, there will be large increase in the thrust. And even fuel consumption also increase because I want more temperature. SFC increase and specific thrust also increase like this. Okay, so different lines you will get. And these are at different pressure ratios. So at 5 pressure ratio, this is the line. At 10 pressure ratio, this is the line. So as pressure ratio increase, what happens to thrust? Initially, there will be increase and then there will be decrease. We know that there will be some optimum pressure ratio like this. And what happens to SFC? Because efficiency increases as pressure ratio increase, SFC decreases. So SFC decreases as pressure ratio increase. So these are the performance curves. So pressure ratio increase this way, turbine inlet temperature increase this way. So again, I repeat, as turbine inlet temperature increase, there will be large increase in the thrust and large increase in the SFC. But as pressure ratio increase, there will be increase in thrust for some time and then there will decrease. And the SFC continuously decrease because of increase in the efficiency. And this is done for a particular Mach number at an altitude 9,000 meters. And this particular graph is very, very useful. Very useful. Why? Because as I told, based on how much SFC I want, based on how much thrust I want, I need to define which area I have to choose. Based on that, I can choose what turbine inlet temperatures, what pressure ratio is needed. Okay, I will show you another graph. Okay, these are the design considerations. So same graph is drawn for a different scale. It is like this. If you have a business jet, that is private jet. So for a private jet, what is more important? We will not travel often. We travel only very less. So because of that, I don't need much thrust also. I don't need much efficiency. SFC can be high because only once in a while I go. So I can take this particular area where SFC is high and thrust is very low. This is for business jet. Okay, another thing, as this increase like this, okay, as turbine inlet temperature increase, what happens? The cost increases because I need higher materials, costly materials to withstand those temperatures. And its life also decrease. As turbine inlet temperature increase, the life decrease and cost increase. So these things I have to keep in mind. In the same way, as the pressure ratio increase, what happens to the weight? Weight increases. And its cost also increases. So those things also I have to keep in mind. So here, the cost will be very less. So because business jet, I don't want to, it is my personal jet. I don't want to spend so much of money on that. Only once in a while I go. So I need less thrust. Efficiency, I don't mind because only once in a while I go. But the cost of the aircraft should be less. So I choose this particular area. And another thing, these are special application engines like lifting engines, like vertical takeoff and landing, or some special like large power I need. Okay, so such things. And that also, okay, because of large power, I go to this particular area. And because of large power, because I will not use it often, right? I use only few times, only in a particular times I use. Okay, so that is also important. So I need large thrust. I need large thrust, and SFC also, efficiency also not important, because I use only particular applications. So I can choose this particular area. In the same way, if I take business jet, okay, not business jet, passenger aircraft, okay, long range subsonic, for long distances I want, and it has to have large capacity. So what I do is I go for this particular area. I need large thrust because I can take more number of passengers, right? And so the efficiency must be high. Okay, so SFC must be low, because this is regularly I use, every day I use. So whenever I use it regularly, I need high efficiency and low SFC. Whenever I use only few times at less time, then I don't bother about efficiency and fuel consumption. Am I clear what I am talking about? So based on the application, I have to choose which temperature, inlet temperature, and which pressure ratio is suitable for that application. As I told, once I choose it, then I can go for designing and cycle analysis and the how many stages are needed. All those design things we will do later. Okay, another thing for gas turbine, there is it goes at a particular altitude. So what is the effect of altitude and what is the effect of flight Mach number? This is not static like industrial gas turbine. So because there will be effect of altitude and Mach number, what are those effects? So these are the graphs. This is with flight Mach number and altitude. This is the variation of thrust. So you can see that as height increase, the thrust needed is decreased. Because it is at high altitude, the thrust will be, the drag will be less because less air will be there. Okay, less pressure will be there. I don't need high thrust. Okay, thrust decreases. But here you have to, one thing important, specific thrust increases. Why? Because the intake temperature reduces, so compressor work gets reduced. So I get specific thrust higher. But the total thrust what I need is less. So that is this we have to understand. And another thing is at a particular altitude, there is decrease in the thrust for some time and then there is increase. This decrease in the thrust is due to momentum drag. Okay, and this increase in the thrust is due to ram pressure. As velocities increase, at higher velocities, I will have more ram pressure. So because of that, there is increase in the thrust. Okay, so this decrease is due to momentum drag and this increase is due to ram pressure. And coming to SFC, okay, SFC, if you see here, as altitude increase, because thrust needed is reduced, SFC gets reduced. The fuel consumption gets reduced. That is this. But here, at a particular altitude, if you want to increase the Mach number, SFC increases because you have to spend more fuel. So are these graphs clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So then we go to what is called as turbofan. Okay, this is turbofan configuration. This is fan. Okay, 1 to 2 is the fan, and 2 to 3 is the compressor. And here there will be combustion chamber 3 to 4, and 4 to 5. This is twin spool. Okay, high pressure turbine runs the compressor, low pressure turbine runs the fan. Okay, 4 to 5 is the high pressure turbine, and 5 to 6 low pressure turbine, and 6 to 7 this is hot gases will go, and here 2 to 8. Okay, here this is cold nozzle. Okay, this is 2 to 8. So actually here there are two nozzles like this. This is cold nozzle, this is hot nozzle. And here once I get P01 and P02, the P02 and T02, I have to check again here also whether there is choking or not. Here, once you get P06 and T06, here also I have to check whether there is choking or not. So 2 times I have to check the choking for cold nozzle and hot nozzle. So the problem will be something like this. This is from the textbook only. The following data apply to twin spool turbofan engine with the fan driven by LP turbine and the compressor by HP turbine. And separate cold and hot nozzles are used. And so overall pressure, I want pressure ratio for the fan, pressure ratio for the compressor. And how it is given is overall pressure ratio is given and fan pressure ratio is given 1.65. So how much would be the compressor pressure ratio? Overall pressure ratio by fan pressure ratio will get, you will get the compressor pressure ratio. And mass flow bypass ratio, because some goes through the cold nozzle and some goes through the hot nozzle. So the bypass ratio is given m dot c by m dot h is 5. Here actually total air mass flow is given. So from this, I can find out how much is the cold mass flow, how much is the hot mass flow. Because based on that, I have to find out the thrust, cold thrust and hot thrust. I need to know both the mass flows. The remainings will be similar. Turbine inlet temperature is there, fan, compressor, turbine polytropic efficiencies are given, isentropic efficiency of both nozzles are given, and mechanical efficiency is given, combustion pressure loss is given, and everything is as usual. And it is required to find the thrust and SFC under sea level static conditions. It is not flying at sea level static conditions. It is given, that is no altitude is there, ambient conditions 1 bar and 288 Kelvin, and no CA also. CA and MA also is not there. So there is no intake diffuser here. But if it is flying, then the intake diffuser effects I have to take. Okay, so this is the way it is. And so how I have to do is, first I have to get n minus 1 by n for compression and expansion. And so because it is static, the stagnation conditions are equal to static conditions. T01 equal to TA, P01 equal to PA. Okay, I know fan inlet conditions, T01 and P01. And once I know that, I can find out T02 by T01 is P02 by P01 to the power of n minus 1 by n. So T02 I can get. And the fan work T02 minus T01 I can get. And P03 by P02, because this is compressor pressure ratio. Overall pressure ratio by fan pressure ratio, this gives 15.14. Okay, so T03 is P03 by P0 to the power of n minus 1 by n. This is compressor exit temperature. So T03 minus T02, this gives compressor temperature rise. Okay, so at the compressor exit conditions I got, but now I have to check here. For the fan, after the fan, I have cold nozzle. So I have to check P02 by PA. Atmospheric pressure I know. So P02 by PA is this. But P02 by PC, I have this formula. So I have to get this critical pressure. So I have to compare critical pressure and this. So from these two, it is found that it is not choking. Okay. So if it is not choking, then the standard formula again, T02 minus TA, I can find it is not the critical condition, but it is actual condition. So I can get this T02. And I can find out what is jet velocity, cold jet velocity. Okay. So the change in enthalpy will give you change in kinetic energy. From that I can find out. And what is cold mass air? M into B by B plus 1. Okay. Anyhow, don't worry about the formula. You know the total mass flow, and total mass flow is 215, and m dot C by m dot H is 5. Okay, so from this I have to find out what is m dot C. Here it is something like this. M dot C by m dot H is B. And total mass flow is m dot is equal to m dot C plus m dot H. Okay, so if I divide this by divide this by m dot H. And this is B, this is 1. B plus 1. Okay. So m dot H is m by B plus 1. Because m dot by m dot H is m by B plus 1 by this. So then m dot C, from this, m dot C is equal to B m dot H or mb by B. Okay, this is the formula as used. Okay, m dot B by B plus 2. So that is the way. And the cold thrust I can find out. In the same way, now I have to find out what are the HP turbine exit conditions. HP turbine work is equal to fan work. So CPA into fan work is, this is some, okay, that is previously it is found out here. T04 minus T05. So T04 minus T05 is equal to CPA by mechanical efficiency CPG into T03 minus T02. So from this, I can find out what is the HP rotor work. Similarly, LP rotor work, I will get it is equal to T02 minus T01 into CPA by CPG. Okay. So this is the way I can find out what is the turbine work for the HP turbine and LP turbine based on the compressor work and based on the fan work. So this is the way I can get the exit temperatures, T05, T06. So in that way, I can get the exit conditions of the second turbine also. Once I get that, then I can find out again what is critical pressure here. And fortunately, this is also unchoked. So because it is not choked, there is no pressure thrust. And the exit conditions will be atmospheric conditions only. And based on that, I have to calculate what is the velocity of the jet. And hot air is m by m plus 1. And so hot thrust is this much. And cold thrust plus hot thrust is this. And again, you have to find out the fuel air ratio from the graph. And by 0.99 combustion efficiency will give me fuel air ratio actual. And because mass flow of air I know, so multiply by that by this, so I will get the mass flow of fuel. And mass flow of fuel is known, total thrust is known. So mass flow of fuel by total thrust will give me SFC. Okay, so this is the way I can find out. So you solve the problems, so you can understand how to do that. Okay, so go through the workload examples and also you go through what are the exercise problems, because next assignment will be the next exercise. You know where the problems are in the Sarvanamuthu?
Yes, sir.
At the end of the book, you have index, and before the index, you have the problems are given for all the chapters, right? So already I have given for the gas turbine cycles. The next chapter will be turbine cycles, the third chapter. Okay, so next assignment will be these problems. So you go through that. If you have any difficulty or lack of understanding, you ask in the next class. Okay. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Okay, this is today's class. And if there are no questions, we will go for the stories. Okay, so it is about some personalities. His name is synonymous with intelligence, yet it wasn't always that way for him. As a child, he didn't start speaking until he was 4. Up to 4 years, he didn't speak. And reading until he was 7. Up to 7 years, he couldn't read also, and was thought to be mentally handicapped. Who is this person?
Is it Albert Einstein?
Yeah, it's right. Very good. It is Einstein. He went on to win a Nobel Prize and altered the world's approach to physics. I guess he was just thinking of the right thing to say for those first 4 years. So this is great Albert Einstein. So that's why don't worry about, okay, he's weak or mentally challenged or very small or thing like this. We don't know how people change. He says weak people revenge, strong people forgive, intelligent people ignore. So there is another person we will see. He is a basketball player. If anybody is has a habit of playing basketball, I think you will know his name. He has missed more than 9,000 shots in his basketball career. He has lost almost 300 games. On 26 occasions, he has been entrusted to take the game-winning shot and he missed. He has failed over and over and over again in his life, and that is why he became successful. Anybody knows his name?
Michael Jordan.
Yeah, very good. Michael Jordan. Right? So he says, obstacles don't have to stop you. If you run into a wall, don't turn around and give up. Figure out how to climb it, to go through it or work around it. And he says, I can accept failure. Everyone fails at something, but I can't accept not trying. So you can see how many awards he got. Okay. And okay, Jordan's individual accolades and accomplishments include 6 NBA Finals, Most Valuable Player awards, 10 scoring titles, both all-time records, 5 MVP awards, 10 All-NBA first-term designations, 9 All-Defensive First Team honors, 14 NBA All-Star Game selections, 3 All-Star Game MVP awards, 3 Steal titles, and 1988 NBA Defense Player of the Year award. And he holds the NBA records for career regular season scoring average of 30.12 points per game. You can see his achievements, so many. But if you see the previous phase, if you see this, can you imagine that he has such a successful career? It's impossible, right? So another person, when he was a child, his teachers called his parents regularly and tell them that their child is weak and can never succeed in life. His teachers were convinced that teaching a brain as low as his is a waste of time, and he was removed from the school. And he failed in his experiment 10,000 times to obtain a solution. You know who is this?
Thomas Alva Edison.
Yeah, very good. Thomas Alva Edison. Okay, so great inventor, a great inventor in this stuff. So he says, I have not failed. I have just found 10,000 ways that won't work. So that is the spirit one should have. So even after failing number of times, he didn't lose spirit. He thought it is a way to success, right? So whatever he says, okay, I tried this material, didn't work. So I found that this material will not work. I tried with another. So I found that this will not work. It is also, everything is finding something only. So he says, I have not failed. So he says our greatest weakness lies in giving up. The most certain way to succeed is always try just one more time. That's about great Thomas Alva Edison. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Very stop recording.